ภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิทุติยามปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิทุติยามปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิทุติยามปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยามปิพุทธังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยามปิธัมมังสรณังคัจฉามิตติยามปิสังฆังสรณังคัจฉามิภวตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนะสัทธาโสติปวันตุติภวตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสัทธาโสติปวันตุเตภวตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสัทธาโสติภวันตุเต
Thank you, Bhante Pasura, for being here, and I'm grateful to the Center Seeds for Happiness, to Mihai Poparadu, Claudia Damok, and to Ada Silea that allowed our program to happen, and that we have in Spirit Heart University tonight also a conference where you'll be the key speaker about your activity, remarkable activity, Peace Revolution, for example. Bhante, if you accept to start maybe from the chanting, what you're chanting for, and what can you give us a glimpse of the words of the...
Normally we always start, whenever we give the teachings, by paying respect to the Buddha and to his teachings and to the community of the monks who transmit these teachings to us. So this language of chanting is called Pali, which is the language that used in the Buddha time himself.
In the Buddha time?
In the Buddha time. The Buddha speaks the language called Magadha, but the Magadha does not have written form, so it's recorded in either Sanskrit or Pali. So for Theravada traditions, we use Pali to record this part.
Oh.
So usually we take the Buddha as our great teachers, the one who discovered this knowledge. And then whatever he taught become the Dhamma, or the way to reach this knowledge. And then the Sangha, or the monks, who transmit this for generations after generations. So usually before that, it's a way to show gratitude that I am who I am today because of these people, because of this knowledge, because of these teachings. So to recollect that it is something not just to worship, but to take into account that it has to be done by myself to reach that state as well.
Not to worship, but to take in account and to practice.
To practice.
To practice. Yes. You are coming from Thailand, from the biggest Buddhist temple of Thailand, Dhammakaya temple, and you are the chief in charge of international relationship. And can you give us an image of how big is this temple and what's happening there, because it's important.
The temple itself is actually very new. We have founded the temples only about 45 years. And actually the start is very humble. The temple started by a nun.
By a nun?
By a nun. And when she started the temple, she was 60 years old.
60 years old.
And she has only 90-acre piece of land with 10 men working with her. And the best part, she could not read and write because she did not go to any school. So even her own name, she could not write it. The only knowledge that she actually have but know thoroughly is meditation. And the initial budget that she had is equivalent to $100. And for 45 years, she continued to train everybody with meditation, with disciplines, how to conduct their life based on the Dhamma practice, but not the spiritual practice. And the temple slowly grows. So after 45 years now, the temple is about 1,000 acres.
1,000 acres.
We have the structure that is 1 kilometer. It is like exactly 1 square kilometer that can accommodate 1 million people.
1 million people.
That the whole square itself. The hall can accommodate about 300,000 people. And currently we got about 3,000 monks.
3,000 monks.
Yes, equivalent, and about the 4,000 staff. Roughly about 77 centers internationally. And yeah, that is the size of it.
This is big, yes. And so gathering of 1 million people.
Gathering of 1 million people. Like this coming December, we have this project called VISTA, which is a project that we implement with schools across country to integrate meditation and moral development, discipline development into the school curriculum. So for the period of 3 months, every student will have a little notebook to have the list that this is the thing I have to do in each day, from getting up early, make the bed, showing respect to my parents, saving the money, check, plus meditation, and then conclude it. And then all of them will come to the temple, 1 million students together on this coming 13th of December. There will be a lot of exhibitions and mass meditation of these students. So you can even hear this pin of silence. When people are meditating in that sheer side of people meditating together, the energy is massive.
Massive. And I'm very, very happy to hear that spiritual tradition become curriculum, is in the educational curriculum. Yes.
For the past couple of years, the temple has been working closely with the Ministry of Education because Thailand is also a developing country, and there was a time when Thailand has becoming very economically developed and tried to open to all of the Western knowledge. Not because of Western theory or knowledge is bad, but the way we adopt it, not wholly compatible with the Thai culture. So we have been trying as well to develop all material part aspect of education, to develop curriculum, academic study, to ensure that students get huge amount of knowledge and achievement. But after 10 years of all this development, the indicator shows that it's not sustaining. Because if the government does not continue to enforce or force them to do it, everything is not achieved. Plus, we have also increasing in social problems in various aspects of violence, teenage mother, even drug use, abuse. So this increasing over time. So we have to look back into ourselves that why that we invested a lot of money into education in terms of material, but how come it did not reach what we expected it to be?
Yes.
So that's why the Ministry of Education turned into the monks and asking, because in the past what happened in Thailand is that the temple and school located together in the same wall. That is the whole system in the past. If you want to study, you go to the temple, and then monks also teach it at the same time.
I think this has happened all around the world. Yeah, so the basic teaching is connected to tradition.
Until it's separated later on.
Yes.
So they try to put it back, but now to put it back in the form of, all of a sudden you get monks teaching in front of the class again, and the students these days with the digital technology, they will say, no, it's boring, no, it's not interesting anymore.
Yes.
So it has to be more activity-based learning that develop the habit from home. Because the core values of the Buddhist teaching is always going back to discipline. Even monks, we concentrate on discipline. I have 227 precepts that I have to keep all the time.
127. 227
precepts. And imagine that size of the disciplines. So just enforce the discipline, and they start to be more aware of spiritual responsibility. And this is the people we want to have in the world today. People who is responsible, who is respectful, who is disciplined, who have tolerance or patience. At least, no matter what knowledge we want to install or put in them later on, we can guarantee that they're going to be using on the right path. Because at the end of the day, knowledge in the hands of the wrong guys can make very huge disaster.
You are deeply involved in different projects, but one of the most important maybe is the peace revolution. How come that you are in this project? It was and what consists and it is maybe if we can connect it peace revolution and digital era. So what peace is boring. Yeah. We have to be stimulated by zapping the TV, for example. Please.
Given to my own background, that most people when they look at monk, they think that monk is someone who has to be ordained in the order since they were very young age. But for me, I went to regular educations. I've been to regular schools. I've been studying in universities. I studied master degree in international relations. I used to work in a hotel. I was a manager in a hotel, and I was a flight attendant with Thai Airways International before. So for me, I lived half of my life in the regular lifestyle, where people enjoying, going shopping, going to party, going to play, having movie dinners, everything that you needed. But whenever people talk about peace, even me, we make jokes a lot like, oh, it's just something that people talk ideally. It's not something to be done, and it's very boring to do. Especially now that the world is moving faster with technology. People does not wait for anything anymore. Everything has to be instantly, spontaneously.
Yes.
It has to be done right away. So this also comes with emotional cost, that people has been losing concentration, mindful of things that they do. And mind is tricky things. It's always about the past and the future. Whenever we think about the past, it comes with guilt. Whenever we think about the future, it comes with stress and worry. So all of these create these negative emotions all the times. So people don't realize that. So when they flow themselves with this digital form of life, they don't realize that they have to take some time to refresh their mind, rest their brain, so that they have enough energy to continue with their challenges that they have in their life. So when Peace Evolution started, it's starting to be from the organization called World Peace Initiative. They interested in the peace building, but interested more on the approach that start from inner values. So they contacted the temple to get that. How can they integrate the method of meditation as some of the values of self-development that we have in other kinds of training, in the Buddhist training, and making it non-sectarian for that can be feasible to everybody.
Non-sectarian. That's very important, yes.
And to be even funnier is that they use technology to counter technology. So the program itself offers online meditation and online self-development program.
Online meditation,
exactly.
Online mindfulness.
Online mindfulness. So people can meditate online. They got even every new moon, every full moon, and every half moon, we live broadcasting meditation guidance, and then people around the world will connect together to meditate together at the same times. Plus, is also try to integrate the system of human touch in the system, so that when people go through this meditation, if you're doing it alone, sometimes you lack of the willpower, inspiration to continue.
Yes.
So the project integrates the part of the human that when we meditate, there is the 42 days of self-development program where we can write down our diary, and there will be human as peace coach. Answer it every day, give you inspiration, tips on how you can look at it in different ways. So after 32 days, it started to be much easier to look at the world more positively, starting from reflecting on ourselves, our friends, our parents, and the society as a whole. So this is how the Peace Evolution comes to approach. And then based on the theory that if anyone wants to construct a new habit, it takes 21 days. Once that 21 days passed, people started to feel much easier to be more positive, to be more mindful. After 40 days, it becomes something more sustaining. So that's why this 32-day self-development program is provided online for people from any belief, any faith. It doesn't have to be Buddhist, and actually it has nothing to do with religion at all, because on the bottom line, it's about how we integrate that part of being mindful, being aware of what we are, who we are, what we do in life right at this very moment. At the same time, develop positive attitude toward our life. Rather than that each day that we felt, I don't want to get up. It's another boring day. It's another day that I'm going to be facing problems, challenges, people that I don't want to see again. I used to tell people all the time that if you don't want to get up from bed, you are losing the will to live.
Yes.
And you forget that life is precious. Time is precious.
We live in forgetfulness about this precious gift that is life.
Life itself.
Why? Why do we forget?
Because we are not being with the moment.
We are not being to the moment.
We are not happy with the moment. We always been projecting for happiness in the futures all the time. And that is the word peace coming in. In the Eastern philosophy, the word peace, either it's going to be shanti, santi, it's always come with the word sukha, which means happiness. Peace does not mean end of violence, sitting quietly in the corner. For us, that is loneliness. You can be very lonely man. You call that peace and call that lonely because you are not happy. Peace must come with happiness, must come and the sense of happiness. In this sense, does not mean I get this new phone, I get this new car, I get this new girlfriend, I get this new job, I get this promotion, or someone pat on my shoulder and say, doing a good job. That is not happiness, that is pleasure.
Pleasure.
Pleasure becomes ups and downs.
Principle of pleasure.
Exactly.
It's the great governor. Yes.
But the happiness itself comes from that we are satisfied, we are content, we are happy with this state of whether who we are, where we are, what we have, whenever it is. It's just right here and right now that I'm content. So that's why happiness is something that everybody is entitled to. Doesn't matter whether you're rich, you're poor, and they are happy with what they have and what they are, they got it. But they have to start it.
They have to start it. Bhante, so we are talking about peace, but we have to practice peace. Do you think that we can have a glimpse or a taste of the peace revolution practice in this studio, in this environment?
Very much. Actually, it can be done anywhere at any time.
Okay.
Yes. So what you need to do is just, if you can sit very, very comfortable, and just let your eyes close very comfortably. Relax your body from head to toes. The first key to disconnect from the world is to let your whole body relax and be very comfortable. Feel the environment, feel the empty space as if we are sitting all alone by myself on a holiday, on a vacation. With my body relaxed and wait for the whole world to slow down. Let the speed of the world to slow down to the point of nothingness, to the point of stillness. Breathe in deep, long and slow for a couple of times to feel that sense of relaxation. Breathe out to release all tension and stress in our mind. Each time we breathe in, let the air flow all the way to the center of our body, in the middle of our abdomen, where we can feel this spacious, light, soft, and comfortable sensation inside. And rest our awareness there at this spacious feeling, this light, soft sensation that we already have within ourselves, that place of peace inside our body, waiting to be discovered. Once we place our awareness or our mind there, rest them comfortably. We can use imagination of the sun, a bright object like the sun shining in the sky, but feel it illuminate bright and clear at the center of our abdomen. Feel it shining warm, bright, as if it is the sun that I am taking sunbathing on my vacation. To be comfortable with this image of the sun shining bright inside at the center of my body, and rest our mind there as long as we can. No matter thoughts or wandering distractions may come to take our mind away, let it slowly coming back to rest at this bright, shining sun, very calm, soft, and gentle. And then our mind will finally find that inner peace, inner happiness, without the need to do anything at all, but just to let our mind be free with this bright shining sun at the center of our body. Make it calm, soft, and gentle, as if we are handling a crying baby that we are hugging, holding gently until baby finally calms down and be still. And now you can take a deep breath. Feel the air spread to every part of the body, head to toes. With your mind still at the center. And now breathe in and out. In and out. Let our body sensation return. Now that I can feel that our mind share the same atmosphere of peace as the outside, then we slowly open our eyes and breathe a few times after.
Yes, Bhante, this is practicing peace, and this beautiful, the metaphor of the baby mind. I've heard a lot of the monkey mind, but the baby mind who needs lots of care, so without repressing, treating in a gentle way.
By the text, the Buddha talk about the nature of the mind compared to the monkey, but compared to its nature, that the monkey is always jumping. Just like the way we are thinking, that we have been think all the time. The worst part is that any night we can't sleep. We have 100 different thoughts without answer or conclusion, just randomly thinking, just like the monkey jumping all the time. But for me, when I practice this, I try to understand that the monkey cannot be forced to be still, just like our mind cannot be forced. So I feel like it's like a baby, because whenever we do this breathing practice, whether repeating the mantra or yoga practice or visualization, any method of meditation, we do it with very kind of gentle manners, soft and calm way. So it's like when we try to tame this little baby crying. If you try to grab the baby and tell baby to stop crying, the baby will cry even more.
Oh, yes.
And that's what we do throughout our life. When we try to focus on our study, on our work, making a report, we tell ourselves, focus, concentrate, look at right in front of you. and then our mind is always somewhere else afterward. So just like a baby, whether we're gonna be feed, hug, sing, play, we apply those things very calm, very soft, very gentle, with love, with care, with tenderness, and then the baby touched it and slowly calm down until stop crying. The same as our mind finally stop wandering around and come back to rest.
So simple. Yes, but with the proper attitude. In order to help somebody else, so we have to begin with us by helping ourselves. But someone can argue and tell us, no, you are selfish. You have to begin by helping somebody else. And if you center on you, on your mind, this is not a correct attitude. What will be the answer of this?
What people forget about it all the time is that the mind has immense ability. And one ability of the mind is the mind can be expanded.
Expand.
Expand. If you practice meditation a lot, one of the things that you can feel is that the meditation helps your mind to calm down. Usually I always make this example that the mind, like this water, crystal clear. And we all have this negative contamination in the mind. Whenever we get angry, frustrated, we put ink into the water all the time. And with our minds continue to be busy like our daily lifestyle, we continue to stir the water. What we really do in meditation is very simple. We do absolutely nothing.
We do nothing.
We do nothing. We stop stirring this glass and put it back down and wait for it to settle. And then all of negativity that we have, all this anger, hatred, selfishness that we have that already mixed with our thoughts become our bad emotions, settle at the bottom. That clear water is that it helps us to make decisions in a more positive way, more human way, more compassionate way with people. So this is why when we meditate a lot, when we are more with ourselves, first we get is self-understanding.
Self-understanding.
And when we understand ourselves that we are no much different than others, we want to be happy as others want to be happy, then we help in the right way. Many times people are trying to help each other, but they try to impose.
To impose, yes.
To impose on others. So it starts from understanding yourself. Second, we can't give something we don't have. If you want to beg peace for someone, first you have to find peace in your mind. Otherwise, we are going out there running an NGO, running an organization, telling people to be peaceful. We come back, we fight with our wife, we fight with our husband, we fight with our kids. Cannot even get along with our people in the neighborhood. And we try to be peaceful. And we already start with non-peaceful methods. And how could we be example of peace in the world? When what the world is need really much right now is role model. So that is where to start. Not to mention that you cannot help someone who is drowning if you don't know how to swim. You need to know how to swim. The Buddha praised a lot of the concept of generosity, kindness, and compassion.
Yes.
But whenever he starts this concept of compassion and kindness, it always ends with something called equanimity, which means you're always feeling kind, but does not let anything come to affect your mind. You learn to let it go, learn to be impassive when things get out of hand. For example, I can be trying to rally for global warming, but instead of try to do my best and try to just do my part to be example of how to save the world with global warmings, I try to rally, yelling at people all the time. And if it does not change tomorrow that the global warming stop, I get upset and complain even more.
Yes.
So the part of equanimity is that it's not about complaining and just say that, no, it's not happening right now, but it's just about letting that part go and continue to do it. And then we have this energy to fulfill, to keep practicing this concept of peace that we integrate in ourselves and make it reality. And that's what the start of the loving kindness is always come with equanimity. There are certain part of it that we have to let go from our mind, but not our physical actions.
And those teachings can be applied even to addicted person, with the drug abused person, or it's much more difficult in their cases, because I think that they felt lots of violence inside. So you have experience in these cases.
I'm not going to go all the way to drug abuse, because one thing I can tell you is that I used to be a smoker. One of the habit not as a monk of course, before I became a monk, I used to smoke for 10 years. And as every smoker would do, they try to quit. And they will try to follow every single method set in magazine or any organization, tell them use the gum, change your habit of eating, drink juice, anything. I can tell you, it never works.
It never works.
It's never work.
Yeah.
Because whenever people ask me, you still smoking? I'll always say, I'm quitting. I'm trying to quit. Yes, soon I will quit. But it's never happened. The only times I actually could quit the cigarette is that when I realized that my health is not really good anymore, and I want to have that good health. So I decided to myself that from now on, I don't smoke. So people ask me, I will say, I don't smoke. And since then, that is my last cigarette. Not as a monk, of course. But yeah, since then, that is the last cigarette. When I decided to say, I don't smoke. So, willpower is the most important thing.
Yes, real power.
Without willpower, nothing can really happen. As long as people still have that feeling that they need it to sustain their life, they need it for relief of pain, they need it to something, they never let it go. So, people don't understand why they need it. And the reason is because they try to run away from other problems.
Yes,
And
to
they
run
believe
away.
To run away. Whether it's going to be drugs, alcohol, they think that if I engage into this, my problem will disappear. In reality, our life is like a storm. It's like we are filled with tornadoes circling around. Nobody can run away from tornado. It's too fast.
You have to stay in the tornado.
In the tornado, but not as a part of the whirlpool that pulling the trees, the house inside until you are part of it and you don't see anything anymore. We have to learn to be at the center of the storm where it's most peaceful. Then that's where we can see everything that's circulating around. All the people, all the cars, all the trees that is floating in the wind. Then that's we can see the origin of the problem, where it starts and where to fix. Otherwise, we're going to be trying to running away in things that impossible to run away from.
To be in the center, in the eye of the storm.
Exactly.
Where is completely stillness.
Exactly.
So it is a problem of not finding the center of the storm.
Exactly. And that finding of the center is just taking your mind into captivity with this particular moment. And that's why there are so many books today talk about being the present moment, being the now, staying in the now. And even sounds cliche until even sometimes I said it, I felt like I tried to copy some of the famous book. But in reality, it is just that. Because this is what we call mindfulness. And the word mindfulness coming from the word sati, that translates as being aware.
Being aware
Of our thoughts, our verbal and physical action at this particular moment, right here and right now. But the practice of mindfulness in Buddhism, the sati, always comes with the other one, sampachanya. And this one means thorough reasoning.
through reasoning.
Thorough reasoning, which means that it's not enough to be aware that I am smoking right now.
Yes,
But it is to be aware that smoking is not good. So I'm quitting, I stop, I'm not smoking. So it's the next level, to be reasoning that this is unhealthy thoughts and actions and I can choose not to engage into that.
So to observe the thought, the need, and to know it that is not good, and to decide not to follow that wish, that need.
Because in reality, we all have 6 categories of actions that we make decisions all the time, whether we realize it or not. It's composed of good, bad, right, wrong, should, and should not. Right doesn't mean good, and wrong doesn't mean bad. But people mix up all the time, and probably this is the reason why the world is not very peaceful today. Because people mix up the concept of good, bad, right, and wrong all the time until there's no standard. When there is no standard, then whatever I want it to be, the whole world to be, that is the standard it should be. So I change the whole to be exactly my point of view. And imagine 7 billion people in the world out there saying the same thing, doing exactly the same thing, because 7 billion different methods for the world to be.
Yes, yes.
In reality, The word world comes from the word loga.
Loga.
Loga. And in Buddhism, when we explain the word loga, it has three depths. The first one means the place that we live in.
The place, yes.
The second one means everybody that share this place with us. And the third one is our body and mind. In reality, we can change only one world, and this world. But once everybody changes this world, the first two will change. It's not about telling people do this or do that, change the shape of everything to be exactly what we want, but change the way we react to it. Change the taste of our tongue rather than change the taste of the food.
So if someone, for example, will yell at you and say, "Oh, I hate you," or something like this, what will be your reaction?
I will smile.
Will
Most
smile.
of the time.
Most of the time. But still, when somebody is so angry, it is contagious. So each one of us can feel his energy. You are not affected about negative emotions. So how do you deal inside with it?
When you practice a lot of meditation,
Yes.
you will realize that the beginning of the meditation, it always start from letting go. And when the people talk about the letting go, they don't get it because it's just a word. But this is this kind of a letting go until you can even letting go of things that not necessary to be put on. It's just like, have you ever fried an egg on a Teflon pan?
Okay.
Yeah,
so
whatever you put on the Teflon pan is never stick.
Yes.
It's exactly you put Teflon on your mind.
Oh.
You can let this slip away, because in Thailand we say that when someone say bad things to you, it's like there is a knife pierced through your heart. But it's not like when someone stab you with a knife, because that you need someone to do it to you. When someone say bad things to you, it's just a knife lying right here. And we choose to grab that knife and pierce our own heart when we take it seriously, when we take it personally.
Yes.
We can choose two things: grab the knife or let it stay there. Once we choose this, to leave it there, at least we are not hurt.
So it's a difference between let it go and opposing, denying that feeling.
Exactly. Most people contemplate this concept of letting go, which is similar to patience, in the way that as long as we don't show that negative feeling, it's okay. As long as we can keep suppressing it deep inside and not showing, we become a good person, we are patient.
Yes, but this is not the way.
This is the meaning of the word patient in that sense, meaning that we have a cup. And whenever we confront this situation, we got a piece of trash and we put this in the cup, close the lid.
Yes.
Next time we have it again, we repeat the same actions until one day the cup is full.
And we'll crash, yes.
And we cannot even open because now the garbage is rotten even more. And probably many of us in the world today dealing with a lot of things in life and feel like we are walking time bomb, ready to explode at any time.
Yes.
In reality, actually, the Buddha praised a lot of concept of patience. And the word patience compared to the ground in the Buddhist context. Meaning that the ground also never complained. You can spit on the ground, you can put garbage on the ground, you can step on the ground, it never shows any feelings. But whatever that bury under the ground becomes something positive. If we put garbage under the ground, it becomes fertilizer for the tree to grow. If we put carbon under the ground, once it's been through heat and pressure, it becomes diamond. So whatever we put under the ground, we turn out to be something positive.
Yes.
And that means look at the bright side of the positive things of every situation that we have in life, rather than try to point out the negative things which are easily seen.
This is an important difference. So in psychoanalysis, for example, exists the metaphor of the container, but the container is still like a cup, a closed system, and which is different, very different if we compare with the ground, with the Mother Earth, with this dynamic system which always
has the process to digest, to transfer, to transform into something else more productive. There is this story in the Buddha time that one monk, one day he asked permission to the Buddha that I want to go to this city to start teaching. Then the Buddha said, do you know that this city is very dangerous? And he said, yes, I know that. And the Buddha asked him, what are you going to do if they curse you? He said, I think I'm lucky. At least they don't hit me. The Buddha asked him, then what if they hit you? He said, I think I'm lucky. At least they don't hit me with a stick. And then Buddha asked him again, if they hit you with a stick, what are you going to do? He said, I think I'm lucky. At least they don't stab me with a knife. And Buddha asked again, what if they stab you with a knife? He said, I think I'm lucky. At least they don't kill me. And the Buddha asked him again, that, what if they actually kill you? And he said, well, I think I'm lucky. So many people want to die, they committed suicide. For me, all of a sudden someone helped me to die peacefully. Oh, I think I'm very, very lucky. And the Buddha said, yes, now you're ready to go.
Wow. No fear, in fact.
No fear, and not take it at the wrong things. Take it as, only look at the bright side. Because in reality, when I interpret this story, I think about it that when I was working, when I went to the hotel, when I was a manager, it's going to be the very same person who's been picking on me, who's been bullying me. It's going to be the same people who gossip behind my back at the very same corner every single day. At least there's no point to look at it like something that's bothering me because I can't change them at all. Once I start to see is on the other way, they must be having some kind of problem in their life. Or, maybe they're not really happy so much. Maybe they got something nice for them that they're kind of jealous. I just change the feeling immediately, and it's the same situation in the same working space every single day. It's just the way we look at it. And that is why meditation or mindfulness itself is really important, because it's about taking control of our mind. When we take control of our mind, what really happens is that we look inside, we look within. Human is designed to look outside. Every day when we get up, we look outside. We open our eyes, we see everyone's faces. We see people, we say they are too much, they talk too much, they are annoying, they're not responsible, they're not disciplined, they are very annoying, they're irritating. So they're all bad. Until there's only one person in the world who is good. And that is the one we don't see. And that is why we feel that everything around is really annoying, irritating, and really bad. In reality, we are not perfect either. When we look inside, we find that flaws, we find that goodness in ourselves. We understand others the same way. They have flaws, they have good part. The same as when you get married with someone. This lovely wife or this lovely husband, they have a lovely part and not so lovely part at the same time. So, just like love me, love my dog. You take the whole package. You cannot choose that I want this lovely guy who is cute, who is adorable, but not this kind of guy who just don't use the toilet or the bathroom kind of nice way that I do. You get the whole package and you learn to understand and slowly adjust with each other, discussing with compassion, with kindness. That's how we resolve it.
Yes, to control our mind. I think that the modern society is based on the concept of controlling the nature and the exterior reality. And when you were saying controlling our mind, I was thinking in a modern way. So control means to repress, but that is not the word. I think we have to find the meaning of the word. This is important, control.
You can even use the word more like aware, realized.
Yes, maybe.
The mind and its conditions and how it reflect in different conditions afterward and become our thoughts and our actions, because everything comes from the mind. Whatever we think become what we say and what we do. But usually we don't just think out of nowhere. We think based on the reaction we have on these stimuli around us, whether what we see, hear, smell, taste, and feel. Then we perceive them, we memorize, we interpret them, become our understanding, whether we like, we don't like, we hate, and that become our words and our actions. So be aware that now, I have this thought, and that's not really a nice way to think about people. At least if I get rid of that thought, I don't say it already. I don't act on it already. And it starts from there. It's not the control in the sense of technology today that people take control of the time.
Yes.
And the worst part with this technology that take control of the time, it has to be changed instantly.
Instantly, no process. No becoming.
No.
Just like this.
My master said it all the time that our grandmothers are much more patient than us because they live in the times of agriculture. They learn how to wait.
Yes.
Doesn't matter whether you want things to go faster. You have to wait for the rain to fall, for the tree to grow, for the sun to come up until you can start doing something. But nowadays we can change every environment to be exactly immediately as we want it to be. So when we want information, we type on Google and we get immediately access to a whole world. Even there was statistics said that we spend 4 seconds in each of the web page after we search on Google. If we don't like it, we click back. When I was young, I got only 5 TV channels in Thailand and I have to walk like 10 meters to change the channel. I have to be very patient. These days, people got 600 channels on their hands. By the time you rotate back to the beginning, you lost already where you want to watch. So people don't have that mindful, that awareness of what they're actually doing. It's becoming a habit to just let it go fast. And then they don't realize that they're always projecting the future.
Future, yes.
When projecting about the future, not only it comes with worries, it comes with expectation. Expectation creates pressure on our shoulders. But we don't get it. We are not that guy. We feel that pressure. We feel disappointed. We feel stressed from the subconscious level. And that makes our life very, very unhappy. And we feel like we don't get everything we want all the time. Actually, we have everything we want right in our hand, but we just don't see it because we see in the future all the time. And the whole concept about taking control of the mind, bringing the mind to the present moment, be aware of the present moment, of mindfulness, is about this, right here and right now. And people ask me again then, oh, if we are so present moment, then I cannot plan I have goal in life.
Yes.
And I tell them, no, actually, it's the other way around. If you look at the Buddhist context, Buddha is actually the one who planned his life a very, very long time. One of the perfections, 10 perfections to become a Buddha, one of it is to make resolution, plan. It's a perfection actually. So it means that to become a Buddha, you have to set your intention for so many lifetimes in the past to be who you are today. And each of the time, practice and practice. So in reality, what it means is that the Buddha said, make the plan, set the goal in your life up high.
So the root of all planning is intention.
Intention, yes. Willpower and intention, and realize the value of that goal that we set upon.
The value, but yes, to believe in the value of that goal.
Exactly, and take it back to today. What do I have to be that values? What do I have? What is my capacity to reach that goal? And then take it today to do my best as I can today, right here and right now, to be that guy. Not to just expect, I have to be this, I have to be this, I have to get this, I have to get that. But we don't do it. Right now, we don't concentrate on things that we do. Always been looking at others people, oh, they got it better than me, they're already halfway there. And then we compare it to ourselves and we feel pressures with our expectation and feel disappointed.
Bhante, what is your core value? Values or value?
For me, it's very simple, given to the fact that I used to enjoy life so much, life that people used to say. And I would say that the first time I became a monk in the temple, it was kind of shock for me.
A shock?
The first day I joined the training at the temple, they shaved my head. They put me to living on the white cloth, give me a box, they confiscate everything. In that box, I got this stack of book, another set of white clothing, and a little toiletries. And I'm sleeping on the tent. And the monk tent is not the tent that you know. It's an umbrella that sticks to the ground with mosquito net. So basically, I can sleep half of the tent only. So imagine on the first time I was sitting there, and usually the flight attendant, the airline usually book very good hotel. And all of a sudden you sit there, all the stuff that you used to have, all the mobile phone, the flashy brand name kind of things that taken away. So, what am I doing?
Yes. Do you think I have to quit? I have to come back to my hotels?
At the beginning, it was like that. And then, since I decided I will commit to it, I continue to just lie down there. And it's really hit me that just lying on the grass there, and very, very quiet, and realize that I have not been so peaceful in a very, very long time. And when you don't really need anything, it's just enough. And this is enough to survive, to live, to really live, and to really feel everything around. And that's hit me a lot, that what was I doing for a long time? And this is really peaceful. And that's how it hit me so much, that we can be very happy when we choose to be. One person used to say to me that you can just be happy when you stop worrying. I never understand it until that moment, that I don't need to even think that what is going to be my breakfast. Just there and enough. That is the complete feeling, that if you get it, you will realize that happiness is something that you can have right at the very moment.
And you have to surrender yourself this, not to think about future, what happened, but it is beautiful. Thank you for this sharing this event, great event of your life. I think it is each one of us have to have those kind of moments in order to realize. And allow me, because we have only 8 minutes from our program, to offer you a book from Herald Publishing House, which is about conquering the death and the divine model. So I think that the death, even the story about the Buddha and the monk was about dying in the end.
In Buddhism, the concept of death is very common.
Yeah, and the death as a great teacher.
It's a very great teacher.
Surrendering.
It's not only is a method of meditation, it's something that Buddha encourages us to practice, to recollection of the dead. But not to in the way that people understand that, oh, think about death means that I'm going to be pessimistic about life, that death is coming, death is coming. It is not about that. But people always drunk in their youth, drunk in their age, and drunk in their health. Everybody look into the mirror, they think they're going to live forever, I'm going to look young forever, I'm going to stay strong forever, like a vampire. But in reality, we are not. So recollection of the dead means to be aware that time is limited. We are counting down to our final day that we don't even know when it's going to happen. And it means you have only moment right now to use it wisely. The Buddha said, if you breathe in and don't breathe out, you will die. If you breathe out and don't breathe in, you will die. Life and death, just one breath away.
But I consider my right to always breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be aware that now I'm breathing, and now I'm going to use every single breath that I have to be happy, to be at peace. Not just expecting to have this happiness in the next 10 years by I get this new house, get the new car, this all perfect life that I have been drawing in my life. Use that as aware that time is limited. Enjoy the happiness that we have right now before death come calling on your door.
So peace revolution means changing the way of our inner life, in fact. We don't have to quit our jobs. No.
But how can you just see the same very life that we have in a more positive way, in a more peaceful way, and also learn to live it happily?
To live it happily. Yes, very, very, very nice words, and very difficult to apply or this very, what I was trying to say, it is in fact my a voice inside myself which is not so convinced about changing inside. I think we all know this critical voice.
Yeah, it's not about changing who you are. It's about discovering who you really are inside.
Discover who you really are.
When we stop following all the media, all the things that we have been imposing upon through this commercials all the time, that telling us what we want all the time, until we are in prison, and then we are free. And when you get the taste of freedom, you're out of the prison, you will look back and you will find that prison is really funny. I've been trapped there for a very, very long time.
Yeah, for a very long time.
And that's what peace revolution is all about. It's about not changing who you are, discovering who you really are inside.
Bhante Pasura, it was a beautiful moment for us and for me having you here. We only have 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes of our program, so if you accept to conclude our program, thank again for the peace revolution.
For me, last word would say that the Buddha said, Nati Santi Parang Sukhang in Bali, which means there is no other happiness greater than the stillness of the mind. Find that stillness of the mind and you will find that happiness.
Sapporo ka vinimuto sappa santa pava citto sappa veramati kanto niputo catuang pava sapitiyo vivanchantu sappa roko vinasatu mate pavantawa tarayo sukhi tikayuko pava apivatana siri saniccangu tapacayino cattaro dhamma vatanti ayuwano sukhang phalang